Hey everyone, this is Kristen from KristenCoaching.com. So good to see all of you again today. And the topic of this video has to do with learning to trust again through emotional transparency. And we're going to talk about trust building exercises for couples. And I think emotional transparency is the #1 key tool and exercise in terms of rebuilding trust in a relationship. So we're going to explore what that looks like. Before we get into that, I want to please remind all of you to subscribe to my YouTube page if you haven't already, and you'll get notified every time a new video of mine comes up. So basically, trust is the #1 thing in relationships that can destroy a relationship if you don't have it. I have seen so many couples and time again, trust being broken and relationships coming to destruction ultimately. Because when we don't have trust, we don't have that sense of security that we rely on our significant others in a relationship. We want to be able to be secure in the fact that they're going to follow through with what they say, that they are a reliable source of information. When we start to doubt that and when we don't have trust, it can bring up so many worries and fears and doubts, and that tends to become the forefront of the relationship when that happens. And it really takes the focus out of having that sense of connection and a healthy relationship, because we have all these negative aspects that are coming up. And again, trust in a relationship, it's very common for that to be broken at one point or another, or shattered, or diminished, or depleted somehow. A lot of common ones just has to do with, lying in relationships. When your significant other lies to you, or you lie to your significant other. The sense of trust is really broken and damaged. And so we want to talk about the importance of rebuilding that and how to do that through emotional transparency. I think that this is really key when it comes to trust building exercises for couples. It's something that a lot of couples don't naturally know how to do. I think when we get into relationships, we want to put on our best self for our person that we are starting to date at the time, right? We want to look our best. We want to act our best. We want to act like we've got things under control, that life is great and we're able to tackle it. So we don't necessarily talk about our flaws and our insecurities and our fears and our worries, right? Because we want to present as our best amazing self possible. So as time goes on in a relationship, a lot of times we can put our negative aspects of ourselves to the side. And that is where emotional transparency gets lost. And so when we are not 100% authentic with our significant other, meaning we're not telling them certain things about ourselves, that can actually be a cause of damage down the road, because that can cause you to not be truthful and to omit information, and therefore to even lie. So it's really important that we are emotionally transparent, especially in relationships that last longer and are long term. We have to be able to be honest and open. And that's what transparency is essentially. It's a way of being honest with our other halves. And the more honest we are, the more that our other halves trust us, and they're able to feel the sense of security in the relationship. And therefore you are closer with each other. So what exactly is emotional transparency? So basically it's pretty simple. You just have to practice doing it. It is allowing your partner to know what you're feeling and how you respond to certain things, especially negative feelings. So for example, relationships, we're all affected by what our partner says or does. It has an impact on us. And a lot of times that impact can be negative. So an example of being emotionally transparent is, hey, just an example. You told me that you were disappointed that I didn't do this. And so therefore that really hurt my feelings. I felt really hurt by your comment, because that's not my intention at all. You're just expressing the fact that you felt hurt, that you felt sad, you felt disappointed, whatever it is. But you're letting them know that. It's owning your feelings and expressing it. when we don't express it or we suppress it, we're suppressing a piece of ourselves, and you're not giving your full heart into the relationship. You're not giving your full self. With the good has to come the bad. With happy has to come the sad. You have to have some, negativity and negative emotions in a relationship. That's what happens. And it's important to be able to communicate that to your other half and be as transparent as possible. It's important not to worry about the reaction of what your partner is going to think of you or how they're going to react, because that ultimately a lot of times prevents you from saying something in the first place. We want to be our true selves, and we want to be honest, and that is how we grow as a couple, and that is how we connect with each other on a deeper level. So the more emotionally transparent you are by letting your partner know your feelings, the more that they are going to automatically trust you, because they're going to see that you're being real. They're going to see you're being authentic. They see that you're being vulnerable because you're communicating difficult emotions. And slowly over time, the more emotionally transparent you are, the more that trust gets rebuilt and you're able to get that sense of connection again. So again, with any type of a skill for couples that you're going to do, it takes practice. So practice being vulnerable with your emotions and practice being honest. The more honest and open you are about every aspect, the more that your partner can feel a sense of security and feel connected. And then this is a reciprocal situation. So it's not a one-sided thing. You just can't do it while your partner does, or your partner can't do it while you do. Both of you guys have to be doing this together so you can build that sense of trust amongst each other. So please feel free to comment below. I'd love to know your thoughts on this, or if you've tried it in your relationship and if it's worked for you or not. I'd love to see success stories or challenges that you've had when it comes to being emotionally transparent, because it is very difficult. Again, the more you do it, the easier it will be. I'll see you guys next time for my next video, and I look forward to it. And thank you so much for joining me today.